It's a great day when you're hanging around. Nothing's ever gonna bring me down. Good times are coming our way. Whenever, wherever, whatever today.
Today is going to be a great day. I am Nikki G, your host. Welcome to the Lone Doctrine, the food for thought exploration station, and your place in making today better than yesterday. Every month, as you may know, we pick a topic, and this month we've extended last month's topic because it seemed to be something that was weighing on a lot of minds. It's the feeling of feeling lost. This can relate to a lot of different aspects within our lives, but it can come as a season or within a situation. Regardless, you're not alone. Feeling at a loss, feeling lost, or just being in a fog is more common than we'd like to admit. And most of the time, it disguises itself as many different stressors in our life. A lot of times when we're feeling the pressure of time, anxiety about the day or the next day, stress of all the things that need or haven't gotten done, the tension builds, and then we become so overwhelmed that we just seem to sometimes get lost in the mix. Sound familiar? Maybe, maybe not. So whether you're feeling lost, have felt lost, or maybe one day find yourself in a fog, being here with us today will offer you the support to push through. I'm a big advocate in getting to the root of life's hardships. So today I'd like to explore some of the reasons why we end up feeling lost. Where does it start? Last week, we talked about our inner narrative and how that contributes to the cycle of keeping us in that lost, quote unquote, state. If we're unable to flip that switch in our mind, it's going to be even harder to push through. And sometimes we really need to get out of our own way. But again, where does it all start? Here's a few food for thoughts to explore. Now, when hearing these, remember to be honest with yourself. We only achieve finding the root when we can be honest, and honesty within ourselves is where the real change starts. A lot of times when people find themselves in a lost state, it's because they're living their lives for others. Now, let me clarify. This doesn't mean you should only think of yourself and not help or support others. It's more of living on what other people's opinions are of what might be right for you, or expectations being set that are being held over you that may not align with your purpose, your passions, your wants, or your desires. Sometimes this comes from our family and a belief system that is being passed down from generation to generation, or even in a place in society or within our career choices. Well, my great-great-grandfather was a handyman, and his son, and then his daughter, and then their son are now handymans, and now I'm a handyman. It's in the family. Now, don't get me wrong. One, there's nothing wrong with being a handy person, and nothing wrong with carrying on a family tradition. I'm actually someone who is carrying out a 100-year-long tradition in my family. This year, 2020, is the year that marks 100 years of music and musicians in my family, and I'm the last of the line so far. No pressure. But the difference is I love it. It's my passion. It's part of my purpose. And it chose me in a way that was way beyond my family line. But if it's not what you really want to do, if you're feeling pressured, it can eventually create this space of feeling lost. You end up creating your personal life based on someone else's opinions. Here's a great quote by Buddha. Do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it. Do not believe in anything simply because it is spoken and rumored by many. Do not believe in anything simply because it is found written in your religious books. Do not believe in anything merely on the authority of your teachers and elders. Do not believe in traditions because they have been handed down for many generations. But after observation and analysis, when you find that anything agrees with reason and is conducive to the good and benefit of one and all, then accept it and live up to it. That's something to really think about. That's something that we encourage you to do here at the Lone Doctrine, just to remain open, hear it, really listen to it, respect it even, but figure out what works for you. Another precursor of sorts to feeling lost is fear. This one is a big one, and no one is immune to fear. Of course, we might all experience it differently, but fear keeps us from so many things in life. Some might be things that are wise to avoid, but a lot of time, so much potential is lost because of fear. I'll admit there's been a lot of times in my life where fear ruled. I was too afraid, and I probably missed a lot of opportunities because of fear. And I've had to work really hard in facing fear head on. Even now, the amount of times I've said fear might be putting you on edge or annoying you. It's a word that we've put so much power into, and it rules a lot of the different aspects of our lives. It can be in our minds, in our homes, at work, within our relationships, and our everyday decisions. When we allow fear to become a permanency, that's when we start to disconnect, we get disoriented, we become unhappy and lost. Here's another path towards feeling lost, and that is the company we keep, the people we surround ourselves with. This has more impact than you may realize. In fact, if you go back in the archives, we spent a whole month, not too long ago, talking about the importance of surrounding yourself with people who lift you up, not push you down. If this resonates with you, I highly recommend going back in the archives, and if you can't find it on whatever you might be currently streaming on, you can find all our episodes on our website at lonedoctrine.com. Spending too much time with the quote-unquote wrong crowd can lead you to a place of feeling lost. When you surround yourself with people who are dragging you down, complaining, whining, pessimistic, gossip professionals, blaming everyone but themselves, it can cause you to feel fear and doubt, and the negativity will start to seep in, derailing your life, and all of a sudden, you're between a hard place and a rock, not knowing how you got there in the first place. Take a look around. Find the people who lift you up. And if some people are family and those that you can't necessarily spring clean, then limit the time you spend with them and be the action that creates and inspires change. And lastly for today, because we like to keep it short and keep it to the root, sometimes what makes us feel most lost is the need to control. I bring this up because it's one, true, and something I need to remind myself of over and over. In a lot of ways, I will fully admit I'm a control freak. I do my best not to put it on anyone else, but my family thinks I might have a slight case of OCD. But regardless, I seek control at every turn. But when we are talking about the bigger picture, and this might be a little woo-woo, it was for me at first, but we will try to remain open to it. When we try to control everything, we are essentially taking ourselves out of the alignment of what the natural flow might be. And I will tell you, when I've genuinely allowed my life to just be, which is extremely difficult, really great things happen. Things I couldn't have foreseen. What I like to call the unimaginable, in a good way. When we fight so hard to control everything and everyone, we essentially start pushing away all things good. We get imbalanced and we get disconnected. And as each day passes, we end up feeling more and more lost. The truth is, we all get lost from time to time in some way, whether big or small. It's a part of life, and we can either stay in the loss or we can allow it to become a lesson. Sometimes a problem is an opportunity. Sometimes loss allows us to be more aware of finding our way to be found. Next week, we'll break down all these things we talked about today further to one, be more aware, and in doing so, recognizing some of the precursors in order to become more productive in getting ourselves back on the right track. Thank you for tuning in, and if you liked this episode and know of someone else that may also benefit from our food for thought, we'd love if you'd share this episode. It would mean the world to us if you could help get this message and our cause out to as many people as we can, because together we are better. Or if we could have a few seconds of your time, we'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, which in turn helps us show up in the search engines so others in need can find us. I am forever grateful, and until next time, keep fighting the good fight.
It's a